Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go watch a movie with PJ. Lord, and he's always glad you came. You wanna be where you could see our troubles are all the same. You wanna go and watch a movie with PJ.
It's always a good Monday when we actually start the watch along and I don't see Chris Clark, you know, as a talking potato or a meatball or something really random and just, you know, giving me nightmares for the rest of the week. So I guess we're off to a pretty good start. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to the PJ Campbell Network. I'm your host, PJ Campbell, and tonight we are going to be watching Dreamworks Animation's The Road to El Dorado, a movie I haven't seen in at least 15 years. So I'm going to treat it like it's the first time I've ever seen this. I know that one of my guests is very, very similar in that. And then we have Jen Kempe, who is going to walk us through this movie because we haven't seen it in a long time. But I did watch another movie that had Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh the other day, and I'm going to talk about that while we're watching it. But on just a little bit of housekeeping, we do have a Spotify and iTunes feed. You can find all of the episodes of all the different shows over there in an audio format. Go check it out. If you have not already, check out our interview with Robert Kicke, the guy behind the Lightning Thief musical. Yes, there's a Percy Jackson musical. It is delightful, and I hope you guys will check it out. Later next week, Evan Degraff is going to be doing Famous Last Words with the aforementioned Chris Clark, a man who wants to be a meatball, I guess. And then Friday, I'm very excited to say that we are going to be doing a watch-along of Hamilton. And then if you guys did not notice, last night's PJ Campbell show, we actually pushed it back because there was a very great show going on that was all about the women of the Schmodown. So tomorrow night, in place of the Evan Degraff Famous Last Words, we're going to be doing the PJ Campbell show talking about the return of Michael Keaton as Batman. And with me tomorrow is going to be my friend James White, who is here right now. Hello, my friend.
Hey, guys. I'm excited to talk about Batman, but I'm also excited to watch this movie with you guys. Like PJ said, you know, it's been a little while for me seeing this, but it's only been a year. I did watch it last year, but it was probably a good 10, 15-year gap that you have this time in between those two watches. So I'm excited to watch this, especially with somebody that knows the movie so well, and Jen Kempe. But no, I mean, Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh are so much fun in this movie, so I'm excited to watch it with a fresh pair of eyes with all of you fine people. And yeah, as PJ was saying, the show last night that a certain point of view put together for the Ladies of Schmodown was fantastic. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that, you should definitely go check them out and show them some love, because that was a really, really great stream.
Yeah, and part of that stream is the aforementioned Jen Kempe. We are happy to have you. Jen, how are you today?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, the stream yesterday was amazing. But yeah, if you watched, you know that I ended up like being a closer essentially. So I was wiped out by the end. Like that was a very emotional toll that it took. So I was getting a little snippy by the end when I finally was on camera. So it was very important though. So I'm glad that it happened, and I'm glad that we get to have fun today. Yay.
Yes.
Yeah, I am too, because it's going to be very interesting. And it was one of the things I noticed today. I was actually trying to get Tim Franco on, but he was like, I'm too busy to do it. But the first thing he was like, wait, Tobin Bell is in this movie. And I was like, I hope he asked them to play in a game. And he goes, well, he is the guy apparently that they get the map from in a dice game. And I was like, so is this a precursor to Saw? Now I need to know. And I'm very curious how this is all going to play out. But like James, I haven't seen it in a while. Jen, didn't you just rewatch this?
I just rewatched it about a week ago because like I've been watching like Community on Hulu, even though now it's moved to Netflix, so it's a lot easier to watch it on Netflix. And every time I watch something, it's like, you should watch The Road to El Dorado. So I finally caved one day and I watched it, and it's still great.
Well, I'm excited because, as I said, I actually rewatched Wild Wild West the other day because HBO Max had it, which is Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh also. And for those wondering, not such a good movie. Doesn't quite hold up. So I'm actually very hopeful that this film will. Right around the same time. This is 2000. I want to say that was like 99. not too long after Men in Black, which is...
I don't know what you're talking about, because Wild Wild West holds up exactly the way you remember it. It's trash then, it's trash now.
I mean, look, I was 9 when it came out when I saw it the first time, so part of me was like, I remembered liking it kind of as a kid, but rewatching it, I hadn't seen it since probably VHS, and I was like, this is not good. This is really not good, but the song is still amazing.
Yeah, I still have a soft spot because like the charisma of Will Smith and Kevin Kline goes a long way for me, so I still do enjoy it, but it is bonkers. So
it's almost like they tried to make Men in Black in the Old West, but it doesn't quite work. And this is a whole other conversation that we're gonna throw this whole
Kevin Smith story about the giant metal spider is the best.
Yes, the Kevin Smith story about the yellow spider. If you guys have not seen
shout out to Schnepp.
Yeah, shout out to Schnepp #1. You guys should really see The Death of Superman Lives What Happened. And if you have not seen An Evening with Kevin Smith, the very first one has his 20-minute story talking about that whole situation of writing it, which led to Wild Wild West. I think you can actually find it on YouTube pretty easily if you just type in Kevin Smith Superman. I very much recommend checking it out. Dan, do I not like handicap and racist jokes?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. And we got Theresa in the stream saying, I'm so confused being on this side of the stream. Hey, you could have been here tonight, Theresa. We did invite you. So, I'm excited about this. This is, I think, one of the first, if only, DreamWorks animated films we've done so far on this. And I know that there was a lot of talk about, I know Mike K really wants us to do Prince of Egypt, and we will do Prince of Egypt. I promise you, Mike K, we will. But tonight, we're going to do The Road to El Dorado. It was just something that looked really fun for all of us, and it was on Hulu. It's easy to be accessible. So I think, I don't know about you guys, I'm ready to watch this and see what this crazy adventure is. I like Elton John. You guys ready?
Super ready.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and count down from 5. As soon as I say go, you're going to hit play, and we are going to watch The Road to El Dorado together. It should be quite the party in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Fun fact, my Hulu has ads, so fingers crossed that I don't get them.
Yeah, me too.
It's not showing any right now, so we're pretty good.
Okay, so they have the new Universal logo in front of this. Am I confused?
That's streaming for you, basically.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. That the fact that that's the first thing I'm really picking up on is confusing. Abby says she feels the same about not being on the stream. Look, all of you saying that you feel weird not being here.
You had your chance.
You had your chance. There's an open door policy with literally all of you who say this to us. Come on now.
See, you waste no time getting to Elton John.
As it should be in life, right?
I also see 3 extra spaces on the screen, so I mean,
look, any one of them who feels like popping on, I will send you a link. Oh, God, man. The animation's very similar to Emperor's New Groove a little bit right here, and that's the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, you can't escape that, essentially, because there's always going to be a little bit of a cultural appropriation. But they actually do an interesting thing in this where they kind of, because El Dorado isn't like a real place, they're going to grab from a couple different cultures, which is fun, but also could be problematic, but you never know.
Well, that's always the question, right? Especially right now, in how that stuff works.
But you could look at it the same way, like you look at Black Panther, where they were doing the costuming. They're looking at several different tribes because Wakanda isn't real and everything. So they have like a little bit of Mexico. They got a little bit of Peru. They got a little bit of Amazon in there. So it's a little bit of everything.
Mike says it's funny that I brought that up because apparently they had very similar parallels in terms of their production. Is there a making of about this one? That I would be very curious.
I know it was like in development hell for a long time. So I think it was completely different plot. And then after Prince of Egypt was so serious, they were like, we need to like get the kids back and have fun.
Right.
So completely.
The animation style is very similar with both of them. I'm not a huge DreamWorks guy. I was mostly Disney, especially because this time period, I was kind of not watching the animated films as much. But El Dorado and Prince of Egypt are both fantastic, and they're beautiful films.
This is your Tobin Bell.
There it is. Do you want
I never realized that before.
I
That's
didn't either
fantastic.
until Tim brought it up, and I was like, so this is probably Jigsaw's ancestor. It should remind you of Sinbad. I think the animation is probably
Yes.
very similar, since they're both DreamWorks films.
Yes,
The figure work is very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are the voices again? It is Kenneth Branagh and Kevin Kline.
Yes, dark hair, Kevin Kline, and golden Kenneth Branagh. And I love this movie works because they did the rare thing of having them in the booth at the same time.
Oh,
so all of this is them working off each other, and there's a lot of ad-libbing that went in everything. So that's really why I like the movie.
Yeah, you can feel the chemistry.
Yeah.
I think that's sometimes what's missing from animation. Unless you're Robin Williams a lot of the time, you can't really be the type of person who's going to put your whole personality into a scene and make it work. And so sometimes it is nice, like Jen is saying, to actually have someone in the same booth together because you can tell the chemistry works then. It's like, imagine watching a Bad Boys movie where Martin Lawrence and Will Smith were not on screen together the whole time.
You get like the Heat situation where they film their separate scenes and pile them together. There will be a lot of this kind of distracting now 3D animation that was thrown in for CGI purposes. I feel like they're testing stuff, so it's a little wonky when you see it nowadays.
That checks out, especially because DreamWorks, as we know, would go on to do, be the king of 3D for a while.
Yes.
That Bill he played the guitar just now.
It would be a lute, wouldn't it?
I think it's a mandolin.
Yeah, could be a lute.
No idea.
Oh god, it really is Kevin Kline. I can't not hear it.
Yeah.
And you can see it in their faces and their gestures too, because yeah, it's hard not to follow what they do.
They really did just let these two be them and animate over it, essentially.
Yeah,
so here,
just lock them in a room together. You're going to get gold.
Matt Whitehurst says The Big Chill is one of my favorite films that Kevin Kline was in, and man, he had a great chemistry with that cast. I mean, that's him in just about everything. If you've never seen A Fish Called Wanda, oh my god,
Oscar-winning performance. Yes.
Yeah.
One that I watched recently, Soap Dish, and he was great in that.
I love Soap Dish so much.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh, on the other hand,
a good cast.
He's got the weirdest filmography when you look at the stuff he's done. And I still can't figure it out. Like, how that dude went from being doing Shakespeare to being the guy who did Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit and now Artemis Fowl. They were going to sit right
in that? I still haven't watched Artemis Fowl.
He directed it.
Oh, did he? Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad now. Okay.
Or don't.
How the mighty have fallen. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. This movie has like a really relentless pace. I can already feel that. And my Hulu would like us to know that apparently Smallville Season 1 will play after this, which is quite the pairing.
Yeah, I mean, if it wants me to watch Smallville for the first
Star Trek Insurrection.
I watched that yesterday.
So it's important to note, because we're hearing a lot of music in the background, this is the same crew that did Lion King. So you got Elton John, Tim Rice, Hans Zimmer. So it's good.
Yeah,
they put a lot of work into it.
This is like right after DreamWorks pretty much gutted a lot of Walt Disney Animation at the time and took a lot of their people with them, is what you're telling me.
My Hulu likes having very, very quiet dialogue and then just blaring the action. So,
oh wow, that was the 3D animation you were talking about.
Look at those CGI barrels.
Yeah,
those CGI barrels are better than the ones in The Hobbit, though.
Theresa says hers says diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Mine says Rugrats.
Wow, we're all over the place tonight, you guys. We should all just, after this is over, continue to watch along and let it continue, and we'll all commentate whatever we're watching and try to make sense of it. It'll be great.
Yeah, in this episode, Guy Fieri goes to see Tommy Pickles on board the USS Enterprise,
where Clark Kent has been basically infused with the red kryptonite, so he's actually the villain. Abby says, I only remember the clickbait articles where it's like your childhood movies were actually inappropriate. Well, that's fair. Oh, yeah. Which also, don't forget, guys. Oh, go ahead.
Two Shakespearean actors be an artist.
Uh-oh, Jen's on the old Wi-Fi again.
Yeah, Jen's old Wi-Fi kicked in. She froze up on us.
Come back, Jen. You can't leave us.
I don't know what happened there.
Is yours, are you hands? We're not doing Schmodown. You don't need to put the hands up. It's okay. Hands don't need to be on screen all times.
I know, right? We're free.
Guys, we do have a Streamlabs account. If you want to send us a few shekels, feel free. It just helps us keep the lights on. So we do appreciate it. The link is over in the description and as well in the chat. That's a GIF, by the way. That's a GIF.
Oh, there's a lot of them in this.
Yeah.
That horse is my favorite character in this whole movie, though.
Sean says, I thought we fixed Jen's Wi-Fi. We thought we fixed it, too. And then Abby's was Chicken Run, apparently. That is Jim Cummings, yes. Jim Cummings is one of the great voice actors of our time. You always know when he's in something. It's just, he's so good.
One of the voices of my childhood.
Yep. I just can't get over the fact that I can literally see Kevin Kline this whole time because I just rewatched Wild Wild West, so all I see is him. Oh, man. The horse.
This horse is great.
The horse is voiced by Frank Welker because
Was it really?
Disney doesn't believe. Yeah, it is because they don't believe in just having horse noises. So just like in Lion King when he yelled into a trash can to make lion noises, he does everything.
Oh, we do like Frank Welker around these parts. I mean, the horse already reminds me of the horse a little bit from Tangled. Yeah. Like it's got a personality and like it's a whole mood.
That's true. The horse from Tangled is like a little evil, though. Honestly,
a little bit. I'm not
like a mean streak.
Yeah. What was the Tangled horse name? Is that Maximus?
Maximus. And they also like apples, both of them.
Well, I mean, it's a horse.
It could like sugar cubes or something.
Yeah, I know, dude. Come on, man. Don't say
Come on.
Horses are different. Don't make Cthulhu come after you, James. He's just hanging out off camera waiting to destroy shit.
Bring it.
When you need animal sounds, Frank Welker. Yeah, pretty much. And, Rosca, never seen this movie, just here to say hi to Jen and James. Oh, cool. Thanks,
hey,
Ross. Not to me. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay, now I just feel bad. This is like watching horse abuse and animal abuse in action.
He did it to himself.
Terrified.
I feel bad. I don't like seeing animals get hurt.
Man, his braids
this is
on
terrifying,
his mane
though,
really
to try
quick.
to be under a boat with a horse.
That's fair. I mean,
This just turned into Life of Pi.
Is this also a prequel to Life of Pi in the same way that it is to the Saw series? Oh, what's going on, Ben? It's good to see you, man. Glad you're here. The animation's really quite breathtaking, though. I have to give it
really
that
good.
kind of credit. I miss when DreamWorks actually did hand-drawn animation.
I think that's what I mean when I say that I'm not really a DreamWorks person, because most of the DreamWorks stuff that I don't enjoy so much is their CGI. But their hand-drawn stuff's all pretty phenomenal.
This might have been their last one, really, for a while.
Well, because Sinbad's...
Right after this was Chicken Run, and then I think they went to Shrek, so...
Yeah,
Sinbad's, like, after Shrek 2 or something.
Yeah, because I think Sinbad's, like,
they probably started them at the same time. It just takes that long, so...
Yeah. You do make an excellent point. When anyone did hand-drawn animation really is what we need to be talking about. Ross, it's already awkward for you. It's awkward for me. There's nothing we can do about it. You had your chance. You didn't say hi to me up front. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to move on.
It's okay. You get 2 out of 3. Man, Scuttle doesn't look so good.
Jaws reference.
A little bit, yeah. Which makes sense considering Spielberg, of course, was one of the people who, made DreamWorks.
I'm behind you guys. I don't know how.
Abby said, "This is scary. I might have to turn it off." Okay, so Sinbad was 2003. So it was 3 years after this, because it's 2000. So has it really been that long? I feel old, you guys. I'm just going to throw that out there. And then Mike says, you want to know why Sinbad failed? It came out a month after Nemo.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But similar to this, it's just, for whatever reason, DreamWorks, like, decided to go a little more older in their audience. Like, this movie's thirsty, y'all, okay? Like, we're not there yet, but there's a lot that's questionable for some little kids.
I still haven't seen Sinbad. Should do that.
It's pretty fun.
Theresa says, Abby, how did you get around the parental controls? You bring up the fact that this movie is thirsty, Jen, but I feel like out the gate it already was, because it got Kenneth Branagh and Kevin Kline.
I know. I think they leaned into it.
Yeah. So out the gate, I just rewatched Wild Wild West. Talk about a movie that's really fucking thirsty. That movie is on a whole other level. I couldn't believe it, and I was like, wow, there's some shit happening right now.
Wait, which one? For Wild
West? Yeah.
I mean, it's got Selma Hayek. What do you expect?
And Kevin Kline. And
you don't need to put her in a cage, okay? that was right there.
Yeah, not wrong. Not wrong. Abby, was this before or after your dad found your Twitter account?
Run, Abby, run.
I really love the animation of the island already. That tropical background feels right in the same way that it does in Lilo and Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost watercolor-like.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I want to watch Lilo and Stitch again.
We already did that on this channel. You can go back quite a few episodes.
I was on the show.
Wow, you tweeted it. I didn't expose anything. You tweeted it.
Sorry, just wait till he finds the TikTok.
God, they're so good together. I didn't even like your tweet. It's because I saw it right before we went live. I don't have to like every tweet that comes across my timeline.
Yes, you do.
That would be very dangerous. My Twitter history would look very strange if I did that. You know what? No, we're not playing this game. You're not going to blow up the chat and make me continue to focus on this. I love the music already. And I like the animal designs too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they make very distinct choices.
And there's that use of 3D animation again.
I had forgotten that Elton John did the music.
Didn't we literally have this conversation on Friday night that he did the music?
Yeah, no, I'm saying up until that point, I had forgotten that he did the music for this. Yeah.
Okay.
And I had just watched it, like I said, about a year ago, and I'd forgotten. Ooh, not the leeches.
That feels like a Indiana Jones reference with the spiders almost.
Mm-hmm.
I always think the great outdoors.
That's fair too. Oh, the armadillo is so cute. Oh,
I remember them really leading into the armadillo for like promotional stuff, like a Burger King toy or whatever, like everything armadillo.
What's going on, Star Drew? Abby wants to know, why do we think this isn't as popular now?
It wasn't popular then. That's the thing. it was a bomb. They spent a lot of money because it was in production for a really long time, and when you pay for Elton John, you're gonna pay for on the other end.
Yep.
And it did not do well at all in theaters. And I think they actually were planning on making it like a franchise, and just did not take off.
Wasn't this around the time that WB also WB around the same time, not DreamWorks, did Quest for Camelot, which was very similar in trying to be a franchise? Yeah, and the same thing, if I remember correctly, happened.
Yeah, I think it's really I think it's not geared to little kids, so it kind of threw people off. I think actually originally it was supposed to be like PG-13 almost. I think I read once. So it shows that way, but yeah, I think it just doesn't appeal. It's not a lot of rewatch for little kids once you see it, and I think it's, if anything, I think it's more popular now just because it's become like memeable and everything. So
yeah. I don't remember it getting a huge like publicity push. I don't think it was. It wasn't really out there the way that Disney, they
I remember heavy marketing, but I don't remember it because it was the same way like Godzilla 98 had heavy marketing and then bombed spectacularly.
The only marketing I remember from Godzilla is the Taco Bell commercial. Dude,
Godzilla 98 is still, to this day, the greatest marketing campaign of all time for any movie, between the merchandising with the Taco Bell stuff, but like all those trailers are incredible. The Taco Bell, if you guys have not seen the Taco Bell Godzilla commercial, I really need you guys to go watch it on YouTube. It's
really good.
It's amazing.
After the stream.
After the stream, though, yeah. Not while we're doing this. Abby said that whole song was Hakuna Matata, and she's confused. Because
it's the same people that did Lion King, that's why.
Yeah. These movies back in the 90s and the early 2000s had exceptional marketing campaigns. If you even look at Star Wars Episode 1, like the way that it was tied into literally like KFC, Burger King, all of those, Batman Forever, which Maxwell Haddad, who was in the chat at one point, just recently bought all the Batman Forever Burger King glasses or McDonald's glasses. I don't remember which.
I forgot about them until he tweeted about it, and then my brain just had all this nostalgia rushing back to it. I had all those.
We don't get marketing like we used to. I miss when these companies used to team up together, you guys. What? The hot dogs Godzilla 98. I think he just meant Godzilla 98. Sean, I do. I believe we are actually talking about doing a Godzilla 98 watch along on the channel for anyone who is down to watch really cheesy Roland Emmerich Godzilla.
I like Godzilla.
Jen, you're on. It's all good. Mike K said, "Here she is, the thirstiest character in DreamWorks Animation."
You're not
It's
wrong,
not
Mike.
wrong.
Yeah.
And I think they toned her down, actually, after in the rewrites. So I don't know what she looked like before, but yeah.
I'm very curious because I don't really remember any of this. Sean, Dan, you're our people. Well, Dan, what's the fun of not having hot dogs? Let's be real here. We all like hot dogs. Come on. It's like if you go to a baseball game with no hot dogs, what's the point? I'm so totally... I've already had a couple of drinks, you guys. We're doing just fine. Godzilla 98 is with Matthew Roderick, Abby, for real. Yes. Godzilla 98 did have a great marketing, but I think episode 1 did better. I remember collecting soda cans of the characters episode 1. I did.
I did too.
I actually, if I can, I'll try to find it in my garage. I still have the Star Wars Doritos, the 3D Doritos. Do you guys remember those?
Yeah.
I
was a
love
stand.
Doritos. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated those things.
The weirdest idea.
It is the weirdest idea, but I have the stand that they had in the grocery stores for it still somewhere. Because, you know, that's how I roll.
Oh, I love this. The horse says it with them for no reason.
Yeah. I like that the horse also gets a moment of awe just now, by the way, as he sees the light.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I told you, man, the horse is the best character in this movie. The best non-human character, especially.
Okay.
Well, there's only 2, so.
So I just had very vivid flashbacks of seeing this in theaters and that shot of the pyramids. So
Magical.
it definitely had some sort of effect on me at one point as a child, seeing this and being like, shit, that's awesome. I miss hand-drawn animation, you guys. I'm going to be saying that a lot tonight, but my God, I miss hand-drawn animation so much right now.
I love what they're doing now, but it doesn't stand up in my mind to what they can do with hand-drawn animation. It just doesn't get better.
Why does some of the design work remind me of stuff out of the Wild Thornberries?
I'll tell you what this guy reminds me of. Nobody's going to understand. There is a movie in the 80s called The Chipmunk Adventure.
Hey,
Is that the one with the hot air balloon?
Yes.
I love
The
it.
Hot Air Balloon Chipmunk Adventure, and he looks just like one of the evil people in the Chipmunk Adventure.
Your sister's now in the chat hanging out with us. She said, this
Hi,
is Jen's
Jackie.
sister. Folding laundry 2 doors down from her podcast. And I'd like to echo that Quest for Camelot and Soap Dish are 2 excellent movie choices. Sup? Jackie, we're glad to have you here. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
She loves this movie too. I told her she could come sit with me, but I don't know. She don't like me.
Apparently she can't sit with us.
They're socially distancing.
Okay, so who voices this guy? Because I don't know.
So this is Armand Asante is the skinny, evil, religious one, and it's Edward James Olmos is the chief.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm not going to say that out loud. Never mind. I was going to say something that might have gotten the whole channel canceled.
Let's not do that, PJ.
That's right.
I can move on.
I'm going to bite my tongue on whatever I was thinking. I'm just going to say that, you know, DreamWorks being right on the fact that religious oppression is not always a good thing.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to leave it. What? Really? Wowing me for that? Come on. Matt misses hand-drawn animation. That's more important, right? I'm not that tipsy. Well, Dan said also, let's just be thankful the people in Dorado speak English.
It's the magic of animation.
Well, I mean, they're technically from Spain too, so they would all just be speaking Spanish.
We've all been in a TARDIS, and we can all just hear things in our
Just
local
lucky for
language.
us that we're hearing them
what's the
speak Spanish.
hitchhiker
Yeah,
worm in your ear? There you go.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
that's how I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna say for that. Dude, I found some old Doctor Who Marvel comics in my garage today while I was going through some stuff, by the way. Old Tom Baker 70s Marvel comics. Pretty cool. Yeah, see? I'm glad that Dan was on our same page, though. Or Sean, I mean, not Dan.
Damn, Sean. He just threw you under the bus like that. Doesn't even remember your name. It's messed up.
We don't get enough movies that have volcanoes that go backwards and decide not to explode at one time. Just want to throw that out there.
Say, name another.
Abby wants us to decide which of the two is hotter.
I'm a Tulio girl myself.
Which one's which?
Tulio is Kevin Kline and
Okay.
Miguel is Kenneth Branagh. I always say that no one loves Kenneth Branagh more than Kenneth Branagh, so
Yeah.
there's no room for me.
You're not wrong, probably, on that, actually. Huh. I'd probably have to go with Kevin Kline, too, because, I mean,
He
he's
does
just
play
smooth
Gilderoy
talker.
Lockhart. I mean, come on, it's perfect. I need that to be Kenneth Branagh's autobiography is Magical Me.
Yeah.
That he should actually write an autobiography called Magical Me. It'd be wonderful. So this is all of us coming out of quarantine, actually having to go anywhere and walking up.
This is me now. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, just being like, oh God, can we make this? Can we survive? I really love this score.
Those two look
here
like a
comes
before
your
and after
meme.
quarantine picture. Both?
Yep, there it is.
God, I love that one.
I'm never going to be able to hear that or see that meme now without hearing them say it because it's been so long since I'd seen this. And now I'm only ever going to see it in their voices, which is almost better.
Yes, absolutely.
They really get the detail down, though, in this world. That's the thing that I'm already being drawn to because I keep looking around, and it's almost ironic that we did Raiders of the Lost Ark before this because it's got a very adventure-style feel and like that same kind of world. And so I appreciate the level of detail to the temples and things like that. It's so perfect. That's Rosie Perez, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right, it does look a little bit like Crystal Skull, and I'm not going to complain about that because I'm the one person on this panel here, I think, who actually likes that movie.
I don't hate it with the power of 1,000 suns that so many people seem to, but yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if this is Chris
About
Clark down here,
900
by the way.
suns.
I think we're going to see in a couple of seconds here, maybe. Oh, he's adding things into the back room. Sorry, I saw someone pop up and I was confused. Which popular film franchise inspired the title of this movie? I think it was the Road films with Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the Road to Bali and all those.
I love those movies, by the way.
I've never watched them.
They're
I've only
really
seen
fun.
one.
It was funny because I went over to our bar/video store the other day to pick up a couple of beers, and I was walking around and I found a bunch of them. Look at that! All of a sudden, we have Magic Road to El Dorado watch along background. Thank you, Chris Clark, for that.
Good job, Chris.
Chris, I'd really love to throw you in here so you could watch the movie with us if you really wanted to.
It's got music, Chris.
By Elton John, none other. Abby said the character has her New York accent, and that is not
Very
wrong.
good point.
Well, when you pick Rosie Perez, you know why you're picking Rosie Perez.
Yeah.
And it fits for the character because she is very capable and she's essentially street smarts, even though there's no streets here. Yeah. So it makes sense.
She's cobblestone road smart.
Also, Rosie Perez was so good in Birds of Prey, and I really hope that people find it on home video because she's fantastic in it.
She's great in White Man Can't Jump too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, really, is Rosie Perez not good at anything is the real question.
It's fair.
She really does have that street smart style that you're used to seeing out of her, and I like that a lot. This movie really is thirsty. Wow.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, we
Interesting.
already saw some animated butts, and then that that loincloth or whatever you want to call it that she's got on is about 1 pixel away from being exposing.
Oh, that's a good call. Tim Franco said she's great in Pineapple Express. She is.
Oh yeah, her and Gary
Express.
Cole are so good together. Yeah.
You know, we should do a double feature of Pineapple Express and like one of those other movies from around that time, maybe Superbad, because they're in the same world.
No, if you're going to do a Superbad double feature, it needs to be Superbad and Booksmart.
Oh,
That's true.
That's good.
That's good. All right. Chris dropped out, but he said, I'd love to. I just got home from a long day, but we'll say this. Somewhere Out of the Blue is a jam. I wish more songs on the CD were incorporated into the film.
Yes. Absolutely agree.
Dan and I.
It has like nothing to do with the music. It has nothing to do with the movie too. Like it was just a good song that he wrote.
Yeah, I like when that happens a lot. Actually, I love Gary Cole. Also, if you guys have never seen the Brady Bunch movies that he is in,
He's so good in those.
He's incredible in them. Also, shout out to Talladega Nights.
Yeah, I was high on peyote.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yep.
Who said that? That's stupid. There's second, third, hell, even fourth.
Third.
All right. See, this is why Theresa is one of the best people. I love the Brady Bunch movies. That's what
they're so good.
They
did the perfect thing with those movies is you couldn't make them without being meta.
Yep.
And they did such a great job, and the cast is great with Shelley Long is so good.
Yeah.
God, Christina, what's her name?
Yeah, Ben Stiller's wife.
Ex-wife, I think.
Yeah, I think ex now, but
from Hey Dude.
Yeah,
I can't think of her name. Damn it.
From Hey Dude.
Oh, Dan
That's
brings
what
up
I know
an
from is from
point.
Hey Dude.
Yeah.
Dan was great in Psych. We cannot forget that.
It's Christine
Taylor.
That's what I was thinking. I was going to say Taylor or Tyler. Yeah,
pretty sure. She just threw up a little bit in her mouth because we didn't know her name. That's a dodgeball reference for those out.
I was going to make a dodgeball quote that Rip Torn does, but that's not very appropriate nowadays.
That's fair. This whole song is about them being gods, isn't it? And I love that.
There's some great vocabulary in this song.
The other thing is, it sounds like they actually did their own singing, which is...
For this, they did. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like this movie would be a trip if you were high. The color palette and the imagery is... Yeah.
It's a little Dumbo-esque right now.
Yeah.
Damn it, Abby. That was good. I hate you.
That's... You know... I don't feel like touching that right now.
I mean... Well, it was... There is some weird mysticism in this film. Like, they did line up exactly with, like, a prophecy and stuff. But, yeah, essentially. They're certainly different, so that doesn't help.
What is happening? That was brilliant, and I'm also so confused.
I'm telling you guys, that guy looks just like the dude from the Chipmunk movie.
Dan would like everyone to remember they are Spanish.
Yes, they're supposed to be Spanish.
Supposed to be Spanish.
Just in case anyone was wondering.
After this, everybody should go watch the Chipmunk movie. The Chipmunk Adventure.
Is that available anywhere?
I know, it's really hard to find.
I could find like a rumor, but that's about it.
You know, I just saw Maxwell talking very nice about me on Twitter, and it made me very happy. Thanks, Max.
Aww.
Oh. Max is good people. If you guys don't follow Max on Twitter, follow Cinemaxwell. He is a wonderful human, and we love him.
Seconded. All right, this is not the character, but you can see kind of the
This is like you're stuck on this.
No, it's like the same animation style.
Oh, sure.
Like in faces.
Yeah,
That's not the character
okay.
I'm thinking of, but just like the same facial construction.
So, am I the only one who's getting Shadow Man vibes from the villain?
Yeah.
Like, he because of his use of mysticism and stuff, and the dark arts, if you will. It's just giving me that kind of vibe and feel, and I like that a lot. There's a reason I love Princess and the Frog so much.
Getting so excited for Splash Mountain.
I am too. I think that is a brilliant move.
Except there's no mountains.
Took them way too long to connect the dots on that.
They'd been working on it for a little while. I mean, of course, they're using what's going on right now as a good time to announce it, which I understand. But at the same time, like, I'm actually glad it's finally been announced because I know that they were working on it. My question now is, what does it mean for, and this is going to totally derail us talking about this, but what does it mean for Critter County? Because you're just going to extend New Orleans Square and Disneyland into that area. So, like, Winnie the Pooh will be the lone Critter County.
I think that's fine. They can switch it to just 100 Acre Wood and be done with it, honestly.
Isn't it Critter Country?
Yeah, country.
Okay. Just making sure that I had my Disney facts.
But it's so small, it's essentially a county. There you go.
Yeah. No, in Florida, it's in Frontierland. So it's like right next to Big Thunder. So, I mean, it doesn't make any sense there being Princess and the Frog.
Yes, I know. Country. I'm sorry. It's already so small.
Your Disney card has been revoked.
I only worked there for like 5 years.
I was going to say, you only worked there. Come on.
Their confusion on them throwing gold and into the water is my favorite.
See, they needed her.
Yep. Just defeated, slouched over. Oh, it's so good.
Her hips are wider than her shoulders. Fair enough, though. So are his.
Yeah. They're just playing these people, and I feel really bad, but also it's to our amusement. I feel very conflicted right now, guys. That was a great transition.
Yeah.
Pat Hogue would probably hate it.
I mean, it's pretty much face the facts. I mean, that's what he does with everything, right? I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. We love you, Pat Hogue, mostly. Abby wants us to say, let's talk about when I sung praises for The Lion King, The Gift, and now it's getting a visual album on Disney. But we don't have to talk about it, but it was on this channel. It was on this channel. She is right about that. Disney's winning this whole let's put things on streaming in the middle of quarantine and make people happy and forget that things are really terrible. Hence the Hamilton thing in less than a couple of days.
I'm so excited for Friday.
Yeah. Which, again, reminder, Friday, Hamilton, be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. I promise.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
We didn't want to throw away our shot. Oh man, Jen and I are on fire with their Hamilton references. So you brought up an interesting point, and I'm kind of digging it right now. This was much earlier, but because it is kind of a mythical location in the same way like Atlantis is, they're really kind of playing with the world in a very, they don't have to adhere to certain things that you might think of. I think that's why they definitely get away with some of what this movie is, because El Dorado is a mythical land. It's not a real place. And I find that very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like animators always want to avoid boxing yourself into a theory and everything. So yeah, that opened up a lot of possibilities for them and made it a little less serious. So yeah, the third act would not exist if that were not the case. So yeah.
Right. I just find it very interesting because as weird as it sounds, I mean, this was 20 years ago. I almost wonder if you could even do the same thing now. I think it would be a very different scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You absolutely would have different voice actors. So,
yeah. Even looking at, Coco and Book of Life as examples of it, like we've come a long way in our usage of mythical lands and, people's heritage, but doing it in a better way.
Yeah.
Did they just record scratch? They really just record scratch.
Yeah.
Solid. The slapstick is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Abby, can I be on Hamilton? I do have a phone number. You literally can text me this. You don't have to ask on air.
She wants everybody to know that she asked, so when she gets turned down and she's not on the stream, she has receipts. That's what that was.
Great. Oh, that's a good point. It was like when Monty Python stops them from singing.
Yep.
That's excellent.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that. She always looks like she's biting her bottom lip.
I think the animators did that on purpose.
Yeah. She definitely is quite the character so far.
Uh-huh. It's for kids, remember?
Kids. Did Rosie Perez do any of her voice work with them too? Do you know, Jen?
I don't think she did.
Okay.
I don't think she did, unfortunately.
You wouldn't know it though, in the same way.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think she was actually brought in kind of late. I think they had the two of them for a while and they kept reworking stuff. So I don't know.
Right. I'm very curious. Hey, Mike, I know that you would know this. Mike K in the chat. Is there a documentary about the making of around this film in the same way that there's one about Emperor's New Groove that's like on YouTube? Because I'd be very curious to watch it later. Let us know.
Yeah.
Because I know
I feel like there should be, just because like this, even though it's like the third DreamWorks movie or whatever, like it was being done at the same time as the other two. So like I feel like there should be something about getting it off the ground.
What we're trying to go for was just trying to like just fast track puberty for all these 12-year-olds.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like we're just trying to sexualize everything. Just boom, boom, boom.
Han says, "Want to hear a weird double feature with this Matchstick Men?"
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it. That's different, to say the least.
I mean, they're both con movies, yeah?
Yeah.
Just go with the original Matchstick Men.
It's just funnier because this is the sexier movie in that watch-along.
Yeah, not wrong. What's even the design on that guard he was just talking to with the scar over his eye, it makes you curious about the stuff that they've gone through. Again, the detail in this movie is incredible for little things. Dan's ideas because it's a pair of con men. But I mean, at that point, you know, at the same time, we could do like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not the remake.
Well,
which is also on Hulu.
Yeah, yeah.
I was affronted with that as soon as I turned on Hulu.
That's amazing. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is a remake in and of itself, though, James.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, you know, just throwing that out there. Snake Eyes could be a con movie too. Not wrong. Snake Eyes is quite good. Is this more Elton John?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. Again, this is like the first time I've seen it in a long time. I'm enjoying this much more than I remembered as a kid.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah. The animation also reminds me of Lilo and Stitch a little bit.
Yeah, it's very colorful. There's definitely a lot of work on the background where back then, like that around that time, it was kind of not the focus. So
right.
Slightly less Elvis.
Just a little less.
You know, I kind of wish that Elvis was still alive or if we could go back in time and bring him to now so that we could have Elvis do music for like a modern Disney movie.
Would it change it? Like, I think you got it with Lilo and Stitch. I don't know what else you would get, honestly.
No, but like a full jukebox musical similar to this. Am I wrong?
I just think it already happened.
Guys, I'm talking about like Jailhouse Rock. Come on now. We know that he did those kind of things.
That's not what the kids want to hear nowadays, though.
Well, it's too damn bad.
You're going to learn today, damn it.
Goddamn right. Okay, this also reminds me of the one other thing I remember about this movie, if I remember correctly. There is some sporting event that they're going to be doing, right?
Yeah, this feels like this one little game that's going to come up. This feels like if you were trying to do a book report and you're like, I got to find one piece of information about this civilization and I'm going to lean into this really hard. So that's what it really felt like.
What is that monster thing? It looked awesome. I'm all about big monsters with pointy sword things, so let's get more of that. Don't spoil it if it comes out.
So
her head was nowhere near his head, okay? I'm just going to point that out.
Oh, yeah. Look at those eyes.
Dear God.
It would only been more obvious if she went like that.
There was something weird just going on over there, you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. These characters are something. They're up to no good.
Oh, you're going to get a little more Dr. Facilier vibes right now here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This game first. Going to point that out.
You get that a little in Prince of Egypt, too.
Yeah, with the Martin Short.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Team.
I'm kind of thinking we need to do a double feature of Men in Black and Wild Wild West down the line. We'll do Wild Wild West first, just because.
Oh God!
At least end on the good one.
Yeah.
Even if you're going out of theatrical release order.
Dan, Mommy, why is her head over there?
Shut up in your popcorn.
Yep.
Because they love each other.
She said she wanted to service the gods. Very good. Had it coming in hot. Dan says he's in for that, so I guess we might have to consider this Wild Wild West Men in Black thing. Yeah. What have I just brought onto the world?
It'd be the Will Smith sings the theme song of a movie theme.
Yeah.
We need more of that. That's what Bad Boys for Life was missing.
Bad Boys.
It was missing the Will Smith describes the plot of the movie rap.
Oh, all
Like
right.
we needed that. It needs to come back.
That I agree
Or
with.
Gemini
but
Man. Gemini Man would have been a better one.
Gemini
Becomes
Man,
the younger self, you know. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Gemini Man was 100% made in the 90s, and they just forgot about it until they released it this year. I am convinced. Just saying.
That being said, I do know all the words to Wild Wild West.
I mean,
Oh,
we all
God.
know the words to Wild
And
Wild
Men in
Karaoke after COVID. There you go.
We should just do Will Smith only karaoke. They
At
just
least 4 that I know for sure.
Tan wants to know how many double features did we come up with last week? Too
Too
many.
many.
Too many, and it's still going is the problem. And because at one point we were looking at potentially doing Christmas in July, but now I'm like, let's just double feature everything because you guys keep bringing it up.
They just can't stop cheating. Gonna have to use the armadillo.
He's doing the
Spoiler alert.
You know, no. I love Dan. Dan.
You
Dan
forgot
is
a
best.
Rough Rider.
Yeah.
Desperado, Rough Rider. No, you don't want none of this. 6 gun in this, brother running this. I'm gonna stop right there.
Stop.
Buffalo Soldier. Look, it's like I told you. I am shocked right now that they're actually like doing this entire sequence. That it's like dodgeball, but more
Yes.
violent.
In the middle of it. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
to me, it feels like Alita.
Yes, I will say this: we are going to be doing a horror series later during the summer that is actually curated by Tim. That I am very excited about. He and I were talking about it last week, and any one of you who like horror films should be very excited for the list that he has put together. One of them I am, well, actually all of them I'm excited about, but one of them in particular I cannot wait to talk about.
Can't wait to see.
I remembered that for whatever reason. Their faces and the hair. Again, this is all of us coming out of COVID right here, right? She's brilliant and cunning, and also this poor goddamn armadillo.
I know. Thank God he's on their side, right?
I know, because I just feel bad for him.
Thank God that armadillo doesn't look like a real armadillo, and he actually looks like the ball that they used to play.
Look at him go.
He can defy gravity, and I think the answer is the armadillo is actually the god, and that's really what's going on here.
Can we remake this movie where the armadillo is the real god of the whole thing? Matt, we are going to do monster movies later. We were supposed to do it in June, but with everything that sort of happened, the whole series we put on hold for obvious reason. This is going to be more of a slasher summer series. That armadillo is me in real life. He just looks sad and confused, and he's been thrown around and worn out. Yeah. There was like straight blood splatter when he hit him just now.
Uh-huh.
It's important plot point.
Gods don't bleed, man.
There you go. Why does God need a starship?
I wasn't going to do it again.
Is that going to happen every time?
Yes.
God damn it.
God.
Theresa, I've already claimed a spot whenever PJ does Killer Clowns. Of course.
Yes.
You already know.
And amazing. He picks her up, spins her around, and that cloth just stayed flat against. Physics, baby.
Matt, so Halloween I see. I'm not going to confirm or deny if Halloween is one of them.
No, it'll be like Halloween 4.
Yeah.
Dude, Halloween 4 is vastly underrated. I rewatched it recently. It has maybe the best ending in the franchise outside of the original. High key.
Tell him, Gilroy. You know, his favorite color is lilac.
I gotta give them credit for, like, I like that they actually made them human for a second, not just merciless. He really just wanted to murder these guys. Oh, I like how he creeps into the shadows. Like, this is a bad guy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well done. That was not lost on me.
It might not have been subtle, but it was effective.
Halloween 4 is not just very good. I think Halloween 4 is close to great. That's it.
I would say it's my number 2 in the franchise, so yeah.
H2O,
I care more about the girl than Crazy Teens, so yeah.
H2O is still my second favorite in the franchise for very like nostalgic reasons, but I really like 4. Dude, H2O's marketing, again, because I was young when it came out, was very affecting. There's shots from that movie that have stayed with me for so long.
You just like Busta Rhymes.
That's Resurrection,
oh, that's
bro.
Resurrection. Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Not the same movie.
You're not invited to the watch along.
You are not invited.
I caught myself.
Yeah, Resurrection's real bad. H2O is actually quite good. I think Halloween 2018 actually owes way more to H2O than it gets credit for, which is really frustrating because I actually think it does a lot of the stuff with Laurie and her PTSD actually better overall. Personal opinion. And yes, we are watching The Road to El Dorado and not Halloween. Sorry, guys.
It was a montage. You're allowed to talk through montage.
That's fair. Thank you. Jen, you can be on whenever you want because you're like, it's okay when you do that. Thank you. I sidetrack very easily. Oh, Dan said that was a very anime shot. Close up on the eye, blood drip around it.
True.
Not wrong. Not wrong at all.
Yeah, the only thing it was missing was like the wavy lines in the background.
Mike makes a great point. This channel was built on sidetracks.
Mm-hmm.
Not wrong. That's why you guys keep coming back, right? For the sidetracks?
The Sidebar Network.
Yeah. All right, real quick. I just want to shout out. We got $10 from our one and only Theresa. $1 for each movie I'm going to suggest for future live streams that I want to be on. Obviously,
Cheers.
So she's bribing me, number one, but also,
There you go.
you know, $10 keeps the lights on, so I appreciate it. Okay, the way that shot is, and I know I'm pointing down, the way that the tunnel is, it reminds me of the Eye of Sauron, and I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why.
In that it's a circle?
It's the way, it's like the exact angle of how it looks. That
okay.
I don't think about how much Lord of the Rings I've been watching lately.
That's true.
That's why. So I'm just thinking of in terms of that. That is a massive cigar. That is correct, Dan. But it actually looks like a very good cigar. Hey Tim, find us those cigars. You're my cigar guy. I think when I was younger, I had a crush on her.
I think any male that watched this film would agree with you. So yeah.
James?
I didn't watch this film very often until later, so I didn't have that as my animated crush. I've got many animated crushes, but this was not one of them.
Was one of them Roxanne from the Goofy movie?
Yeah,
Everyone's was Roxanne from the Goofy movie.
Princess
wanted-
Jasmine,
Just wanted to be
Roxanne,
fair. Just have to find out. I just have to
Ariel, Belle.
Disney princesses. She always looks like she's going to bite her bottom lip. This is a very specific
She
thing.
is biting her bottom.
Yeah. Mike says, for the next song coming up, the Backstreet Boys perform backing
Oh,
vocals,
Jessica Rabbit. I'm sorry.
which is a nice added touch. Interesting. I did not know that.
All right.
Really?
Sean says, okay, James, time for you to list your animated crushes.
Just did.
The top 10, go.
Let's see, Jasmine would probably be one. Yeah, Roxanne, yeah. And then we have a whole list. Made Marion from Robin Hood. Velma or Daphne.
Theresa's
Yeah.
calling you out, says, don't deny your Lola Rabbit crush, James.
Okay.
Or Lola Bunny, rather.
Lola Bunny was okay.
This animation, for whenever it's focused on him, is like the right amount of dark and creepy. And again, I'm getting Shadow Man vibes.
Mm-hmm. Here you go. Here's your kaiju options.
Oh, I straight up am actually going to get this, huh? I forgot about this, and now I'm incredibly happy that this animated film has a straight up kaiju monster.
Yep.
Oh my god. No, go back to the
I think
kaiju.
Yeah, it's a random pick. I just love that movie. It's just trying to think of one.
Patty says, this is some Hellfire, Dark of the Night, Anastasia vibes going on. Not wrong.
Yep.
Anastasia's massively underappreciated
So
as far
good.
as this stuff, man. Abby, it's not a robot. It is a kaiju. Stop it. It is a kaiju. We're going with kaiju. Abby probably doesn't know what a kaiju is.
If it's in Mexico, is it actually a kaiju?
Kaiju. I don't see why it can't not be.
Isn't kaiju a Japanese term?
It's a
Well, in what was it, Godzilla King of Monsters? They were appearing in South America, so
yeah,
They
exactly.
didn't call them kaiju.
What? I'm so. Mike says it's a giant stone kaiju, and they rock. It is stone, so yes, it does in fact rock. It cannot be a Jaeger. It's not like he's inside of it.
Well, he is controlling it, so that's true. It's probably more of a Jaeger.
Yeah, but I always think of Jaeger like you got to be inside of it to control it.
It's
Maybe.
a comlink.
Fair.
So that means the Power Rangers and Voltron are controlling Jaegers.
I've always
Yep.
assumed that.
Okay.
I mean, Power Rangers only makes sense considering that was originally, Japanese made.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, Jaeger. Where
Yeah.
that's a more recent term.
This is so cool, you guys. I'm actually really enjoying the fact that this has a giant monster in it.
Dude, and his
And there's
face
a lot more to the
is
movie
Iron
left.
Giant, his face is very Iron Giant reminiscent.
Yeah.
Like the way the eyes glow.
Yeah, they have the exact same spacing as the
Yeah.
Iron Giant.
Okay, Sean, that's just not nice. We can't do Godzilla 98 and Pac Rim 2 Pack Room 2 is what happens if you want me to yell at people. I want us to have fun with watch-alongs. If I'm hate watching something, it's not going to be fun.
I'd probably
if you're
fall
doing a
asleep
double
for
feature, you can hate watch one of the two, but you have to love one too.
Yeah. Well,
you can't have
did you
two
sleep
bad.
through Pack Room 2, Jen?
I think I didn't go to the theater for it, but I think I fell asleep and I had to back up because I could not tell you what happened in that movie, honestly.
I went opening night at midnight because I was so excited and I wanted to be in the first screening, and I left, and it was like everything that I wanted just broke my heart.
I still haven't brought myself to watch it.
Don't do it, dude. Just don't.
I'm planning on it. I'll just Wikipedia through it.
I don't know if it is really long, but it felt like an eternity.
The fact 65 minutes.
The fact that John Boyega put a bunch of his own money into that movie breaks my heart.
Yeah. Like, I understand the impulse because you want to try to jump on a franchise and everything, but
one that he was controlling versus not.
Yeah.
Understandably. Yeah. Mike he goes, I like Pack Room 2, but even I'll admit it's the live action equivalent of a Disney direct-to-video sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, not wrong. I'll go as far as saying it's the equivalent of Atlantis 2. And Atlantis
I have not seen that.
Real bad, so. Because Atlantis is, in my opinion, a masterpiece, which is why we did a watch-along for it. And Pack Rim is a masterpiece, which is why we did a watch-along for it. Pack Rim 2. Bring the monster back. No. It's not fine. It's garbage. It's awful. I hate that movie. There. Good. The monster's back. I can be.
And there it goes.
Why did they got to break my heart like that?
They're just donating him to the gods.
Yeah.
But they are the gods.
No, they're the gods.
Are they, though?
That's
no,
what
we
we've been
established the armadillo is the god.
That's true. That's fair. Abby, it's not a robot. It's not.
A robot has to be mechanical.
Yeah, there's nothing mechanical about this.
It's a big piece of stone that's brought to life by some magic wizard.
It's a golem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you the golem. I like that we're arguing the semantics of what the giant monster in this movie is.
While a conquistador is about to kill a guy over a piece of gold earring.
He came for gold. And in a history moment, I will point out that for whatever reason, they decided to say it was Cortez, and it was actually Pizarro, I think, that was looking for El Dorado. Don't know why they decided to change that. Don't know why.
Probably because more people know who Cortez is, which you're not wrong. But
like he's a huge part of the film or something. But
yeah. It's one of those things where you always know when studios and filmmakers are making things, and it's like, we're just going to skirt history. It's dumb. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what they do.
It's like if an Italian filmmaker in, like, say, 150 years or 200 years made a movie about America where George Washington had the Emancipation Proclamation, just because he's a more famous name than Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Again,
it's arguable anyway, but...
Again, I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying I'm sure was their thought process behind it.
And like, I think it adds a little level of danger or something because I think Cortez is the one that's more known for like massacre and everything. So you know that this is going to be bad if he comes in. So yeah, but it's just
13-year-olds that watch this don't know that.
Yes. This is definitely one of those films that could be shown right before summer vacation. It's like, we read about this, guys. Yeah.
Every movie that should be shown before summer vacation for any kid that's in middle school going into high school, though, should be dazed and confused. You need to learn the dangers of what summer vacation means.
What school did you go to? Jesus.
Right?
I'm not saying I went to that school. I'm just saying that's what that movie presented itself as. Am I wrong?
Did you have Cameron Diaz as a teacher?
No.
Yeah, I can picture you as like the film studies professor sitting in the background with a cigarette. You're gonna learn today, kids.
My favorite with that movie is the whole part where they're like, "Can we go early?" And he's like, "Well, some of us went to Vietnam. What was it? 5 of us went into the jungle. only 4 of us came back or something, or like 1 of us came back. And it's like, that's fucked. He's comparing their Vietnam time to these kids trying to leave and not get paddled. Jackie says, Jen's sister here again, hopping on. Pizarro doesn't sound threatening. He sounds delicious, hence Cortez.
Thank you, Jackie.
She makes an excellent point. Pizarro does sound like almost a pizza dessert that you'd find in an Italian restaurant.
It's a microwavable pizza at best.
Yeah.
While we're speaking of like teachers showing movies, though, I took a leadership class in college, and literally it was a once-a-week class, and we just watched films. So we watched Gandhi, and we watched Sister Act.
Leadership.
We watched Remember the Titans. These are fucking great.
That makes sense.
It was so much fun. We played with Legos. It was the best class ever. We had to do like that little Lego relay where like one person could go up and look at something and it had to come back and tell somebody else what it was, and then the other person had to tell somebody else how to build it. Yeah.
So you took a leadership class.
Yes.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Why are you taking orders from PJ?
The world may never know.
All right, Abby, I don't ever want to hear you talk about Apollo 13 again, though, because every time we've brought it up in any capacity, you're always like, that's a dad movie. No, that's just a great movie.
Apollo 13 is one of the best movies ever made.
I agree. Fantastic score on top of it.
I don't think a dad movie and a great movie are exclusive. I wouldn't say it's a dad movie. That doesn't make it any less of a great movie.
No, but there's there's real dad movies. I don't see like Apollo 13
Ford
as a
versus
dad
Ferrari is definitely a dad movie, but it's also a great movie.
Yeah, but I don't think Apollo 13 as a dad movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Am I wrong?
I'd say it's a dad movie. I feel like Ed Harris's character alone encapsulates the dad movie vibe.
Should we just say that every movie that Ed Harris is in is a dad movie then?
I think that's fair. Because, yeah, The Rock, definitely. So.
Shit, that's hard to argue against.
That's not... Dude, The Rock is, like, one of my family's favorite movies, and we watch it all the time. Look at all that gold.
The Right Stuff is definitely a dad movie.
Not wrong. The Right Stuff definitely is.
I grew up like literally like being able to see the Space Center from where I like my little league field was. So I'm all for like NASA movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apollo 13 is the best of them.
Men in Black 3 is also a great space movie.
It's got a really fun NASA.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. I think Men in Black 3
that movie more than most people. I think Josh Brolin's so good in that.
I think Men in Black 3 is almost as good as the first one. I think it's a little too long.
I was surprised at how sweet it was.
Right.
Like, after 2, wasn't expecting that. So, yeah.
I think it's got a big heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could talk about it forever, but I think the twist at the end is really, really beautiful and also, like, reaffirms my love for the series in all the right ways.
Theresa makes a good point. Stepmom is the exception. Stepmom's not a dad movie.
Where he's the bad dad. That's what it is. He just added an adjective. I'm the bad dad.
He also the dad in Milk Money.
What the hell is Milk Money?
Oh, Milk Money was like a 90s movie where a kid hires a prostitute to be his new mom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. I'm pretty sure Ed Harris is the dad.
I'll take your word for that one.
So this is the montage of them getting ready for the attack, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because they all know what's coming.
So yeah, so Jekyll Khan is leading Cortez / Pizarro to El Dorado.
Because he's a dickwad.
Yeah, just his first fight.
He's just a bad person. How would you do anything on that boat with that much gold? How does it even float?
I know, try turning that thing.
Yeah. What did I spoil? We saw them. We saw the cannon fire.
They said it.
Yeah. And I saw the smoke over the trees. That wasn't a spoiler. I'm just putting 2 and 2 together from what we have been presented. Abby's just trying to cause chaos in the chat.
Thank you. Ed Harris was in Milk Money. Thank you very much.
Stardew's like, how is it a spoiler if you're watching? Correct.
And yes, Milk Money was advertised as a kids movie, and it was not a kids movie.
Isn't that like the second time that this movie has come up on this channel in a matter of weeks?
Milk Money?
Apparently,
Yeah.
that needs to be
Really?
the next watch along.
Yeah, because you brought it up before.
I don't think so.
You have this affinity for Milk Money.
Or maybe it was just on one of our Zoom calls.
I don't think I've brought that one up before in here.
Action!
Suspense, drama, romance.
Horses.
He flies.
Okay, Abby makes a good point about Bridge of Spies.
I mean, I'm not a father, and I always recommend Bridge of Spies. So
Bridge of Spies is a real dad movie.
she makes fun of me for watching History Channel docs too, so it's fine.
It's okay, PJ. You're a dad without children.
No,
Good
I
for
have
children.
you, and I have a lot of the chat apparently. I don't think I could be anyone's dad right now. No.
Watch out for those stalactites.
They definitely lost so much gold just now.
But they have so much still.
Guys, I want to ride of this. Someone
This could
make a-
easily have been a 3D ride at Universal.
Yeah.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Dan, do not ever say those words ever again. Please don't. The music's so dramatic in like all the right ways, in a way that I'm
Hans
not used to.
Zimmer.
Yeah. Hans Zimmer, when he was doing different scores, not just using.
Not just blah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of modern day Zimmer very much, although I think his Dark Phoenix score is surprisingly great for a very dull movie.
It's fair.
Her face. Cortez kind of looks like just about every villain you would see in any animated film, like the bulky shoulders, kind of very Gaston-like.
I was gonna say he looks like the dude from
Mhm.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, Pocahontas.
That's the one that I always think
Just
of when I look
A
at
more
him.
fit Radcliffe, yeah.
Yeah.
Deus Ex Machina, right? The gods interfered, and now he's gonna have to face the. That's what that feels like to me. That was a literal Deus Ex Machina from a bunch of people who pretend to be gods. And that, kids, is how you deal with a religious zealot.
Zealot. I
Mhm.
was trying to help you out.
I was going to say extremist, but that didn't feel quite right.
No, zealot's definitely
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah. On his hooves.
No one will know.
He got the greatest gift of all. It was and he got his friendship back. This is so clearly set up for many
Yeah.
more movies.
Yeah.
You know, you could almost have them do like a TV show now on
Oh, yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah, if they made a show out of Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, I'm pretty sure they could have done this one.
I forgot they did a show for that. That movie's underrated. Spirit's really good.
Yeah,
I like that
It's it's weird.
and the filmmaker just passed away, actually, which is very sad.
I thought
like
Spirit.
You know, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a pretty cute movie.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's a very fun movie.
It's only 83 minutes. Wow, that was shocking. Number one, I didn't remember a lot of it, but I had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, and this is the song that Clark was talking about before. So it didn't make it into the actual movie, but it's the credit song. So this, yeah.
The guys who wrote the Pirates films wrote this.
Thank you, Abby.
Yeah.
What? They also wrote The Mask of Zorro, by the way, which I keep thinking eventually we're going to have to do on here. Like, these guys continue to write these massive blockbustery type adventure films, and 9 times out of 10, they either do really well or they bomb really badly. And this falls into it bombed very badly.
Yep.
Wow.
But not for lack of quality.
No, well, I mean, depending on who you're asking, because I mean, there's a lot of people who don't think that the later Pirates films after the first are very good.
Yeah, it's definitely kitschy, and it's hard to market to like little girls. So yeah,
everything after part 2 is bleh.
Well, you know, we all have our opinions, but now that we've watched it, you know, Jen, you were just kind of saying very hard to market and sell to people, but we've revisited it. Do you think this movie deserves like a second chance to be reevaluated? You know, what are your thoughts?
I think it definitely didn't deserve to bomb the way it did. That was more just because you had to spend so much money to make an animated film back then. But yeah, like I looked at the list of DreamWorks, and like this is like down on the lower end of the scale in terms of like Metacritic scores, and it doesn't deserve to be next to like Shrek the Third and stuff like that. So I think it's more of just a forgotten element, and it's a little kitschy, and it's a little more towards the PG-13 side than the PG. So I understand how it didn't take off, but I would have loved a show about it. I think that would have done a really good job. Like the success of Tangled and everything, it would be a very similar vibe. So hey, Netflix, come get it.
Yeah, Netflix. You know, you guys are look. They have DreamWorks Animation doing a Fast and the Furious animated series at this point.
Yeah.
Like, let's throw the Road to Dorado a little bit of a bone here and get this thing going. James, now that you've revisited it for the first time in almost as many years as me, what are your overall thoughts?
Second time in as many years as you. First time in about a year. I still really enjoy it. No, it's a fun movie, and I think that more people need to really see it. I just don't think that it's got the cultural relevance that you see of a lot of films, especially from the Disney catalog. You know, everybody knows the Disney movies, but the DreamWorks stuff gets overlooked a lot of times. Like I was saying, you know, between this, Prince of Egypt, Sinbad, you know, a lot of these great DreamWorks hand-drawn animated films just haven't gotten the push that you really need. And I think it's very, very overdue that they get some sort of a wide audience looking at them, because I agree. I don't think the Metacritic score is justifiable about the quality of this film. I think it's a really good movie. It's a really fun movie. It's got a great voice cast, good soundtrack. I don't understand why it didn't really do well, you know, box office wise. There's a lot of things that go into that, whether it was just released at the wrong time of year, it was up against something else that really went big, and so it just kind of got pushed away.
I think it came out the same year as Chicken Run, which I think DreamWorks put more of their power behind. But yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's just, you never know what's going to happen with marketing and things like that. I just don't think it got the push that it really needed, and I don't think it's gotten a push since. It doesn't have that cult following as much as it really should, because I think it's a really great animated film, and it should have a lot more eyes on it.
I'm really shocked by the lack of cult following on this one, if I'm being honest. I mean, obviously outside of the memeing of this, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people online who kind of scream to revisit this film or reevaluate it, which we see with things like Atlantis and Treasure Planet. And I mean, a good bulk of that, like mid, like 90s to early 2000s Disney stuff, like that seems to always be called to, let's go back and rewatch it. This doesn't seem to have that in the same way that I don't think a lot of the DreamWorks stuff does outside of Prince of Egypt, which everyone still seems to praise. But it was interesting just kind of revisiting it now, seeing who wrote it actually checks out why I enjoy it as much as I did. because it's very fitting to the rest of their filmography in a very interesting way that they tend to make very ambitious, very big blockbuster type films that are fun and adventurous and a little out there, and they love to go for broke. And I think that it's kind of special in that way, while also being absolutely not the kind of thing that's normally marketed for children. And maybe that's the conversation to be had, because I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but Sony Animation came out the other day and said that they actually want to start making movies that are not aimed at kids as far as their animated films go. They want to be doing PG-13 films and R-rated films in animation, which I find very fascinating, because we don't normally do that. We look at
it's all overdue for the US. You know,
I agree.
You see that a lot of times outside, you know, in Japan and stuff, but the US doesn't do any of that. I mean, it's you're hard pressed to pick any animated film
outside like short films. That's the only place you can really find it.
The one from the 70s, the Fritz the Cat. It's like the one that everybody can think of. I mean, this isn't. I don't think it's one of the best animated films, but I think it's a very fun film, and I think it's something that more people should see, because it gets pushed away and it doesn't get enough eyes on it.
And I think a lot of it goes to the cast as well.
Yes.
Yeah, this movie definitely would not work without the pair, honestly. And I think, like, I know we're talking through the entire thing, but if you go back and look at the dialogue, listen to the dialogue, it's hilarious throughout and everything. So it does get boxed into like Atlantis and Emperor's New Groove kind of vibe, because it's just a little bit different of a subject matter that people aren't exactly looking for, which is unfortunate, because why not? But it's a whole other world to explore, and they just went at it. And like, this has a lot more jokes for the adults than the kids. Like, the kids get the armadillo and the horse, and the adults get everything that is said. So yeah,
it's very similar to Emperor's New Groove in that way, almost. Like, the difference being that in Emperor's New Groove, the kids also get Cusco, who's like front and center, and it's like, look, the funny llama, but the dialogue is the thing in that movie. And I think you're right. Like, it's very much in that vibe and that feel, and I just dig it for that. So I'm glad that we got to sit down and watch it. And I'm glad that we had someone as knowledgeable as Jen Kemp to guide us through this, because I look, comparatively speaking, if otherwise it would have been James and I being like, we're watching this movie together and we have no idea what's happening.
What's that?
Yeah. And then by the time we would have gotten to the monster part, I would have just wanted to talk about Godzilla the rest of the time. So I'm glad that we had you to keep us straight, at least, on it. Good night, Abby. Thank you for being here. Abby. And, you know, again, to the chat, everyone here who came and hung out tonight, thank you guys, because without you guys, we can't do this. Which, just real quick, take you guys through what we've got going on the rest of the week. Again, come on Friday. We are going to be talking about Hamilton. We're going to do that watch along. I've got James, I got Jen, I've got Abby, I've got Theresa. There's a whole group of us. We're going to be doing it. I think Evan might be on it too, but I'm trying to make sure that he's not on it, because he's actually doing Suddenly Soundtracks. He's going to be hosting a 2-part Suddenly Soundtracks about the entire cast album, and Alex Marzonia, RB3, and a bunch of people are going to be on it, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Look forward to that. Speaking of Suddenly Soundtracks, we also have Alonso Duralde talking 1776 with Chris Clark, which I'm very, very excited about. It is going to be a ton of fun. Chris was very happy with how it turned out. He has not stopped gushing about it, which makes me excited. And then, of course, I don't know if he has announced it or he wants me to, but he also just finished doing a Newsies one with Kevin Smets, and I cannot wait to see how that turned out. And, of course, as we said, tomorrow we're going to be talking Michael Keaton and the return of him as Batman on the PJ Campbell Show. And next Monday, because I know you guys are here for the animated films on Mondays for the watch-alongs, I didn't want to talk about it because you guys kept referencing it, but next Monday we're going to be doing The Iron Giant, and I hope that you guys will all be here talking about it. It's a fantastic film. It was the one thing that we decided that we'd break out of our Brad Bird month that didn't happen, and I can't wait. So, Jen, and I'm really glad you were here. Thank you again for being here. Where can everyone find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at JKMemeQueen, and Facebook groups, wherever there's movie stuff, I'm usually there too. Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you. Thank you for coming back, basically twice in a row, and I look forward to seeing you again for Hamilton.
Yay!
Bye, Jen. And James, where can the kids find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd and Instagram occasionally at Gator24, G4TOR24. And I'll be here, I guess, on Friday. I didn't know that I was going to be with you on Hamilton, but
we literally talked about this.
I said if you wanted me to be. I'm gonna watch it twice that day because I've not seen the stage show, so I don't want to watch that for the first time with a live stream.
I would hope you.
So
yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Well, I've seen it before.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm excited to watch that. I can't wait. I've been wanting to see this production for years now, so I cannot wait for Friday.
Yeah, I don't know how obvious it is how much I like Lynn and the show and what he does, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So we will see you tomorrow first, talking Michael Keaton. I look forward to it, and we'll see you Friday, my friend. Have a good night. And of course, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram over at PJ_Campbell, and you can find me over at the lovely Movie Trivia Schmodown, where I write questions for the show, and we are in the middle of the IG tournament as well as the Star Wars tournament. Please head over, watch the videos, give the show a try. If you have not, we would love to have you guys. It's a lot of fun, and that show doesn't exist without you in the same way this channel doesn't exist without you. So thank you again, guys, for being here. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, talking Michael Keaton, Friday, talking Hamilton, and next Monday, talking all things The Iron Giant. Until next time, I'll see you all very soon.
I want to be so long. Farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. I said so long. Farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. Oh, it's been great to play and sing together in the box, and now it's time to say goodbye. Oh, so long, farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye, oh, for now, until we meet again. Goodbye, for now, until we meet again.